Before I get to you, let me give you the folks, the Yankee lineup tonight. Gaudy, Judge, Bird, Stanton, Sanchez, DH, obviously because Gray's pitching, Didi, Andujar, Romine, Torres. So that's it. It's Gaudy, Judge, Bird, Stanton, Sanchez, Didi, Andujar, who had his granny last night, Romine, and Torres with Gray on the mound. All right, Eddie, what's going on today and after another fun day in Metsville?
Can we borrow a few of those guys?
Yeah, you could use a couple of them there. Absolutely. The Yankees nine-hitter would bat 3, and the Yankees 8-hitter would bat probably 4 or 5.
Yeah, that Yankee 9-hitter will be batting 3 someday.
Yeah, he'll be batting 3 very soon, as a matter of fact, yeah.
Listen, another frustrating day here. That's I didn't think it could get worse than a 2-1 defeat to the Orioles, but it did. It got worse today.
You know, why do you think – listen, you know Callaway a lot better than I do. Why do you think Callaway went to such lengths rather than just say, hey, he bunted on his own, I thought it was an okay play, and it didn't work out?
Yeah.
Why all the craziness and the subterfuge of trying to figure out what the heck went on?
Mike, I don't know. I mean, we get a lot of convoluted answers sometimes, and I don't. You know, listen. You know, Mickey eventually said he said so. Everybody has the choice of, hey, I'm going to get him over some way. And he felt like that was, we felt like that was a good situation for him to bunt him over there. And listen, these guys, Cabrera's a veteran, and he understands. He saw something. He saw third baseman back. He did it. He didn't execute, obviously, popped it up. But I don't know. I don't know why. You can just say, hey, we give our guys the right to do that. We want to get somebody in scoring position to try to knock him in. The problem is, even if you get them in scoring position, they're 1 for 24. They're 1 for their last 24 with runners in scoring position. So, but I don't really understand. You can just come out and say, hey, they have a choice, or that's.
Listen, it's a bad play. It's a bad play. They shouldn't have a choice. It's a bad play. He's one of the most dependable bats. Plus, he's got a lefty-righty situation going on. They need him to swing the bat there. I mean, they really need him to swing the bat there. He chose not to. So be it. I understand. I'm not blaming the manager for that. I just thought it was weird the way he answered it. That's all. I guess he was trying to protect them more than anything else. I guess.
I guess he had said originally that we were just trying to make sure we get a runner in scoring position, and and again, it could be protection. I don't know, but Cabby said that he did that on his own. He saw the guy back, and he was trying to get something going. He's frustrated like the rest of them. He had one hit today, but that went nowhere, and it's just been a frustrating time for him.
It has. It really has. Eddie, Familia was on a bench. He looked very frustrated. There's been a lot of rumblings that Familia is just not happy with how he's been used here. Now, he called him his best reliever, but he has used Familia very strangely. He has not used him like a typical closer.
No, he hasn't, but he went to him in the 8th inning, and I actually think it was a good move today simply because the heart of that lineup is coming up. The guys you got to worry about in that lineup right now.
I don't mind that either. I agree with you, but it just seems like Familia's not very happy right now.
No, I think that, I don't think he was totally happy. The other situation down in Atlanta when he pitched the 8th and the 9th, and then 2 days later he was out for the 8th and came out. He sat down for the 9th. Gesellman came out there. I think he was surprised by that because he had told me that he wasn't surprised that he was going to come out after 8. He thought he'd be out there for the 9th, but so be it. He wasn't angry about it, but I think he was a little bit confused. He just thought he'd be back out there for the same thing 2 days later, the 8th and the 9th. In this case, I can't fault it because those are the guys you got to get out. Unfortunately, he didn't. Jones gets the hit, Machado gets the sac fly, and bingo, there you go. But the Alvarez play was a big play too. I asked Mickey after the game too about Rosario struck out 3 pitches.
I think absolutely. I agree with you. He absolutely carried his defense out to his offense out to the field. The guy just came up with the bases loaded and struck out on 3 pitches. You know what? I think he was definitely carrying it out to the infield. I absolutely think he was. I thought the same thing.
I think so too. And listen, I'm not blaming him. He's a young player.
It happens all the time. You're upset. You just struck out with the bases loaded. You're upset.
Right. And he struck out on 3 pitches as well too. And I think when you're younger, you tend to carry that stuff a little bit. Mickey thought not, but again, he might be trying to protect him there too. I don't know, but he shifted. He's on the other side. He's the other side of the diamond as opposed to being a shortstop because that's where he goes. He goes to his left very well, and that's where he was going that time. But he just couldn't make that play, and it ends up costing him, obviously, with the Machado sac fly.
Eddie, I was wondering about this. He puts Reyes in the pinch run after the Frazier single. Is Reyes on his own there, or does he have to get assigned to run with this team, or what's the deal? I mean, is he on his own to run there? Do you think, or has he got to wait for him to give him a sign to run?
No, I think he would be on his own. I mean, he's been around long enough. I think they would trust him there. I don't think Jose feels real comfortable at this point in time simply because he hasn't played an awful lot to try to steal a base there. So I can see
I
where
thought he might with Gonzalez. I knew he wouldn't when Bruce was up, and Bruce almost ended it. But I thought he might with Gonzalez up, trying to get him to where he could move the fielders around a little bit too. Maybe they'd move the field around because, Gonzalez hitting into that shift,
And he's hitting into that shift on a regular basis.
That's what I mean. Yeah, he's hitting in there all the time. You're trying to move guys around a little bit. I mean,
I can see it. Yeah, I just don't know if Jose was real comfortable simply because he hasn't played a lot. That's all. I don't think he wants to be gunned down for the final out there at second base.
All right, 2 questions with him, Eddie. Number one, and Cespedes. Number one, do you think they're going to release Jose tomorrow?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I think his time may be short. I think we know that. I think we talked about that before. I didn't think it was imminent, but time is getting close. Let's put it that way, I think. And
is Cespedes, you think, will be back? He said it's more complicated than just asking him if he's ready to play on Friday. I don't know why it would be.
He said, to quote him, he said, we'll kind of regroup and make a decision for this weekend and what's best for him.
What they do the last 2 days? What were they doing the last 2 days? Didn't they make a decision today?
Yeah, I mean, he worked out today. He moved around. He threw to the bases.
He hit yesterday. He was in the field today. He ran the bases today. You would think they made a decision.
I think, I think what they're trying to figure out here is whether to send them for rehab games or whether to activate them for the weekend.
They need to activate them for the Yankees. I'm sorry. They lost 6 straight. They have no offense. I'm sorry. If he thinks he can hit right now, unless he thinks he needs to go away himself, and he doesn't want to go to the minors, hey, I got to figure he wants to go right into the Yankee series.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. Let's put it this way. I don't think he does rehab games.
Right. He doesn't like going to the minors, right? Right.
He would go begrudgingly, I would
Gotcha.
I would gather. So I think they're going to try to decide. But like I said to you before, I do think they're worried and obviously have made it clear to
Unless you're rehabbing at Sabonic, he would like that, if it was,
That's very true. When's the U.S. Open? Is that
next week. So you can have him rehab near a golf course. I think he'd be okay. That's okay.
Exactly. But I think what they're trying to make clear to him too is if you're coming back, then this is it. Okay, you can't be going back on the DL because you're going to get killed. We're going to get killed, etc.
No, he cannot go back on the DL. I mean, then the season's over if he goes back on the DL.
I think that's part of the problem, too. They're trying to sort that out.
But they need it for their credibility. They need him on the field on Friday night. I mean, they really do.
I couldn't agree more in this sense. And actually, Mickey talked about this a little bit in the postgame, too, because somebody asked him about, Cespedes. I'm a big believer in presence, okay? Even if you're not hitting, great at the time, just the fact that a guy like him is in the lineup, I think, makes the lineup.
He scares people. He scares. He can He can wreck the game anytime anytime he's in the lineup. He can wreck the game.
Yep, exactly, and that's and it makes a big difference to everybody else in the lineup too, and how everybody else is viewed. So I don't disagree with you. I just I couldn't tell you. I think there's still kind of flipping a coin at this point as to whether to get him out there, but we may find out tomorrow. I don't know.
All right, this team. You're around this team more than anybody, so you're the best one to answer this. Is this right time for the Yankee series? In that, it's exactly what the doctor ordered, or is it adding insult to injury?
No, I think, and at least in talking to Conforto and Frazier and some of the guys in the locker room after the game, I think they feel like this is a good thing. It can only amp things up a little bit. The crowd, even if it's split, is going to be loud and it's going to be boisterous and it's going to be rocking here over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. You know that. So,
and they have nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose.
It's probably good for them, at this point in time. I mean, let's face it, if the Orioles were here, there weren't a lot of people. I know the attendance was, a lot in the 30s or whatever, but there weren't that many people here. So, and it's as quiet as a morgue around here because they're not scoring. Now, if that continues through the Yankee series, it may get ugly, but I think they feel it could be an injection of, just a little impetus for them having the Yanks come in here and things get loud and crazy here. So we'll see.
What guy are you most worried about in this lineup? What guy are you saying, there's a lot of guys having lousy years. What guy are you most worried about? I don't worry about Conforto that much, although he has not been great lately, for sure. And Bruce, I think, is coming out of things, although it's, he's since May 1st, it's been, straight downhill for him. So it's been tough for him to figure out. I guess, Nimmo right now, you probably worry about a little bit, even though he did have a hit his last time up, because, he seems to be regressing a little bit right now. I don't know if I guess you'd probably have to say a Gonzalez or somebody like that at this point in time, who seems to be struggling a little bit. But do they have anybody knocking on the door, Ed, who is ready to come up and deserves to come up and play right now?
Not really.
No.
I mean, there's nobody down there that's going to help them. I think that's part of the problem. There's nobody you can reach for and can inject some life into this team because there's nobody down there that's really hitting.
Boy, it is a mess. I mean, it really is. I mean, the Orioles came in here. The Orioles came in here, and they're the worst team in baseball, and they come in and beat them 2 games.
Listen, that's and they didn't do too much to do it either. A couple of runs yesterday, just 1 run today on a sac fly. So. No, it was ugly. I mean, people that have to solve the problem are here. Cespedes has got to get back on the field, and the guys that are in this lineup, the Confortos and the Bruces and people like that, Frazier, they've got to get the job done. I think they know it, too. What you have to do is not put that much pressure on yourself. Just go out and try to play ball and hope that it turns around. And maybe a couple of guys can get it going at the same time. That's what they need.
Ugly. As you said, can't get much worse, so... I guess it always can. I guess they can go on the road with a 9-game losing streak, So, do you think Syndergaard will definitely? He didn't commit to that yet either. Will Syndergaard definitely pitch Sunday? You think?
I think he will. He's going to do a bullpen on Friday.
Who would pitch if he doesn't?
Boy, that's a great question. Well, let me see, because they had, Wheeler can't go. Obviously, I guess
Vargas, not against the Yankees.
I mean, he pitched 5 innings, and I don't know. That's why I think Syndergaard's going to go Sunday. They have an off day Monday before they hit the road, and then they have 10 straight on the road. I think he's going to go. I thought they were going to decide that after the game here today. At least that was the indication.
No, he didn't commit to it yet, though. He didn't come in.
Said he'd throw a bullpen on Friday. I think he feels fine. I think his finger is okay. And Dave Allen said the other day he was good to go for Sunday. So I don't think things have changed. I think he's going to go.
And feeling, you think Cespedes will be in the lineup Friday night?
I guess I'd have to say yes. I guess I would have to say yes. If not, the only other thing to do is send him on rehab games this weekend and then take him on the road. But I think he may be in the lineup Friday. Yeah.
All right, Eddie. Thanks. We'll talk on Friday. Thank you.
All right, Mike.
Eddie C. with the Mets. Back after this.